Hi, this is Seth Hornby for Zenchain, and I'm going to be giving a demonstration of our peer-to-peer lending and futures cryptocurrency decentralized application. The app is currently in an early proof of concept alpha and is not fully featured, but this demo should show you the basics of how to create a loan request, fund the collateral, how to fund an existing loan, how to repay a loan, and then I'll briefly touch on some of the other missing features which are going to be added in the near upcoming future. To begin, there is one third-party tool that we'll be using in order to interact with the smart contract and application, and that is called Metamask. It's available from metamask.io and works in both Chrome and Firefox. Once you have it installed, it should show as a little icon up here. And as part of this test package, you should have been given a list of pre-funded accounts, which we've used to give you some free test Ethereum and a token called Hurify, which we'll be using for the sake of this demonstration. What you do is click Restore from Seed Phrase, and in that file we've sent, there should be a list of these 12-word wallet seeds. You simply paste it in there and enter the password of your choice. As I have already created my account, I'm just going to log in. And you can see my token and my Ethereum. Now you probably don't see this yet, so what you'll need to do is select in this top drop-down to go from the main Ethereum network to the RinkB testnet. At this point, I should also mention that currently we've only deployed this to RinkB. So using the main Ethereum network, not only will use your actual real tokens and money, but you'll probably lose it. So we highly recommend not doing that at this stage. Now there's one other thing we're going to do to make MetaMask work a little bit better for sending tokens, because this current interface doesn't have the feature, and we're going to click here and just switch to try beta. The layout has changed, but you still see all of our tokens. All right, now that we have MetaMask configured, we're going to go to the application itself. And the URL is atlas.zenchain.com. The first feature I would like to show is how to go through the general process of creating a loan. To start, simply click the Create Loan button, and you'll be taken to an interface that looks like this. We currently just have Hurify enabled, and so we were just going to leave that one as is, though in the very near future we intend to support basically any major Ethereum ERC token. We can set these values to whatever we want, so I'm just going to use a nice round number, 300, and then to Ethereum. I'm going to set this for 30 days just to give ourselves some time, and an interest rate of 10. Now you'll see here we'll be borrowing 2 Ethereum, and in a month be repaying 2.2 using a collateral of 300 Hurify tokens. Currently, we do not have price pegging being done by third-party pricing APIs such as CoinMarketCap or any of the exchanges, but that's a feature we intend to add as soon as the next version of this demonstration, which should be available within a week or two. When you're ready, you click the Create button, and this is going to invoke your MetaMask and should show a pop-up here. Now, what we're doing right now is simply creating the actual smart contract. We're not actually dealing with anything of funding the loan itself. I'm just going to raise the gas limit for now. This normally isn't necessary, but I happen to know the test network is busy while I'm doing this demonstration. Click Confirm. And what's happening now is we've actually used our own test Ethereum account to deploy this contract. Right now, the contract has no funds in it, but we'll just simply ensure that all of these terms are upheld when we fund our collateral and then the loan is created. Normally, it doesn't take too long, but if you do wish to check, you can just look through your transaction log and click, and this is going to take you to the RinkB Etherscan. It shouldn't take longer than a minute or so, and as soon as it completes, this page on Atlas will automatically refresh. Here we are. we now see that the loan has been created and that its status is waiting for collateral. The UI is not all that clear here because we haven't fully built it, but you can see that the next step is to send 300 Hierophy tokens to this address. We'll be using Metamask once again. From the drop-down, we select the Metamask, we select Hierophy tokens, click Send, paste that recipient address in, set it to 300. Once again, I'm going to just raise the gas limit. And then confirm to proceed with the transfer. It's created a transaction, which again takes a little time as it's being sent to the test network, but the page will automatically refresh one more time once this collateral has been funded. And there we are. The status is now updated to waiting for lender. At this point, we've done everything to create our loan request, and we've funded it with collateral. So, presuming that the terms of the loan are favorable, you would think that someone would now fund the loan. Given that it's a little bit awkward for me to try and fund my own loan, I'm now going to switch to another I had previously created in order to deal with the funding portion. So here we have someone else's loan. It has slightly different terms, but you can see that they are giving us 5 Ethereum loan at 20% interest with 100 Hierophy tokens as collateral. So to proceed, if we want to take it, we just simply click Fund Loan, as I'm going to do right now. Making a prompt in MetaMask here. Raising the gas fee for good measure. And there we are. I'm now funding someone else's loan request. Now, one thing to note is once you've funded someone else's loan, they will have the time frame scheduled to be able to repay it, and should they default, you would instead receive their collateral amount, which has been funded to the smart contract. At this point, I'm going to switch back to an original contract I had to show repayment. Here we are. This one happens to have the same terms as we initially created, where we have a 2 Ethereum loan with 300 Hierophy tokens as collateral, and we're listed there as the borrower. Now what I'm going to do is pay the installment, which is my 2.2 Ethereum, if you remember from the beginning. I'll simply click the button. Metamask will prompt, and we will send the transaction to repay. Now that transaction should have completed, as we can see, the loan status is updated accordingly. That is the basic process for how we use this platform to create and complete loans. There we go. Now it's formally updated. What I'd like to do at this point is show you what happens on the blockchain itself in terms of the smart contract. So here we are. I've just pulled up a contract address here on RinkB for what we've done. Now I'll walk through step by step to just show you the way these transactions occurred. So the first transaction unfortunately isn't listed here because RinkB is missing what's called an internal transactions tab that's available on the main Ethereum network, but not here. So you're unfortunately going to have to take my word for it. But there's an initial transaction, which is the one that we had when we first created our loan, that launches this contract itself. The next transaction we have here is an inward transaction for the collateral Hierophy tokens. Next, we had someone who funded the loan, giving us our 2 Ether. Then we have the transaction we just did, which repaid 2.2 Ether, which is the loan plus interest. And as a result, we have the collateral then returned to the borrower. In the event that the loan was not repaid, or at a later date when we have collateral calling and liquidation, for some reason the loan was not successfully reinstated, what would happen was this collateral would instead go to the lender rather than be returned to the borrower. At this stage, this is the full feature set that we've currently got deployed, though within the next week or two, we expect to add price pegging with real-world prices, as well as the ability to use other Ethereum tokens on the test network, and start realizing a lot of the features listed in the roadmap and white paper. In the longer term, we intend to take this smart contract system and deploy it across an interoperability layer to allow the use of coins and tokens outside of what's available on the Ethereum network. This was Seth Hornby for Zenchain. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email at seth@zenchain.com. Thank you very much for watching this demonstration.